a Monday Night Football game. Xavier Gibson with the walk-off punt return. Rodgers goes down. Obviously, that was traumatic. And Josh Allen, 3 interceptions. Looked brutal last night. But another win for How to Beat the Bookie members. That makes it 7 straight NFL winners. Cashed the under last night. Had that at 45.5. Line closed 44.5. And it was pretty much dead under from the start. Obviously, the Rodgers injury helped out with that big time. A couple of losers in the MLB. We'll see if we can get the MLB back on track, but still been very profitable at MLB in the month of September and pretty much for the whole season, really going back to the last 3 months. And NFL could not have a better week 1 than what we are having right now. So hopefully we can carry that on. Already just got the first bet out for week 2. If you guys are looking for more of these bets there, How to Beat the Bookie, go sign up on the app or the website. Like we said yesterday, some of these bets will be coming out these next couple of days here. Don't wait till Friday. Lines will be moving. John, another nice little winner in the NFL last night, and hopefully we can keep building on that into the season.
Yeah, that makes it 7 straight. That's not a bad way to start off the NFL season, so we'll take that. Just catching up on some injury news right now. Yeah, tough break. 4 snaps into the game, and Rodgers lost for the season, and there go the Jet hopes down in a blaze of glory. Jets doing what the Jets do. But we'll take the under. And as I said, that's 7 straight bets, 4 totals, 3 sides. Baseball yesterday, we went with the Marlins. Just the spot that I saw. Price was right. We took 141 on that game, I believe. And that game closed, the best you could take was plus 125. That was the right side. Just got absolutely blown out in that game. And we'll look to get back on baseball. But as of right now, I don't have a baseball bet. Couple of leans that I'm looking at. I'm just watching Cowboys all going to 9. And obviously that line just put up this morning with Rodgers being out 9 and going down now to 39.5. If you had to beat the bookie member, you get this game sent out to you. That's our first bet. I'm going to give it to you guys here. We went under 40.5 just before coming on air. That game going to 9 and 39.5. And obviously, like I said, that's got all to do with Rodgers.
Yeah, it's how to do with Rodgers. They're also a little bit of a bad break for Green Bay as well. Their first round pick they get from the Jets was dependent on him playing 65% of the games. Obviously, he is not playing 65% of games, so they're going to now get a second round pick. Bad blow there for the Jets. They go from plus 290 as of yesterday to win the division. Get a win over who's the favorite in Buffalo. Well, actually, it's now Miami who's the favorite at plus 135 to win that division. They go all the way down. Jets now plus 600. So obviously that injury, big impact there. Sorry to you Jets fans out there. But hey, that Jets defense looked really good last night. And Josh Allen looked absolutely horrible. Leads the league in turnovers over the last 5 seasons. Very problematic there. Didn't have any Aaron Rodgers props for the season. I mean, if you guys tuned into the NFL season preview, you guys heard me talk about it. Unders on the prop futures. And that is why, because an injury in literally game 1 can take you out. If you had an Aaron Rodgers under on the season for completions, passing touchdowns, passing yards, you are a winner today. So shout out anybody who had unders on Aaron Rodgers passing props. Absolutely phenomenal. And that's why those NFL futures, typically more value on the unders. Win total unders, same thing. One key injury can really fuck up your season. And here we go. We got John back on board. All right, I'll square it away.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, I was just talking about with NFL futures. I mean, that's part of it. We get asked a lot about NFL futures. Always talk about how the value is in the unders on those. If you had any Aaron Rodgers unders on the passing touchdowns, passing yards, Jets win totals, unders on all of those are pretty much going to be winners now just because of that one injury in game 1, week 1. So that's where all the value is in NFL futures. But we can dive into this MLB Tuesday card. Like we said, no bets out so far. Nationals versus Pirates, first game on this card. Dawn versus Falter. Nats get it done last night. Nats, they're really hot in back end of July and August. They've kind of a little sloppy a little bit lately. They've won 3 of 5 now, though, since the 6-game losing streak. Dawn, they're 5-1 his last 6 starts. Last time out, 2 runs in 5 innings. And Falter, 4.02, 7 outings. 4 of those are starts. Allowed 1 run and 7 1/3 last 2 times out. Going to give Falter a slight pitching edge here, but the Nats have been winning with the Don on the mound. This is road dog with Washington or nothing.
Yeah. Where are we here with this? Nats, they take a 6-2 win last night in that game. Pirates, they've lost 3 of 4, scoring 3.5 runs a game, 3-5 since that little 5-game win streak they had. Nats, the other way, they had a bad losing streak. Now they've won. They've put together a few wins here. Just would have to be wash and nobody in this game of also rans. Nationals, you guys know, we've been betting them on the road. They play well on the road. They're undervalued on the road. So a Don or no one in this one. Falter, he's been decent since coming over from the Phillies. 1-1, 4.02 ERA in 7 appearances, 4 starts. But again, would take the price if anyone, but I'm not taking anyone in this one unless there's either a big line move or some injuries to look at.
Then we had the Braves at the Phillies, split yesterday. Phillies lose the first one of the doubleheader. We got teased there. Bryce Harper is the 2-run bomb in the 9th. Thought we were going to get it in extras, and then just couldn't pull it out. They come back and win game 2. This is a great pitching matchup. Fried versus Wheeler. Fried, 3 straight quality starts, 2.37 ERA. Was decent versus Philly last year, but was roughed up in the NLDS. And Wheeler, 10 of his last 11 starts are quality starts. Division pitching matchups are always very interesting. The trends. I mean, take a guy like Garrett Cole, who owns pretty much most of the league, but he goes up against Boston and Tampa Bay, can't get it done. Wheeler owns the best offense in baseball. 8 straight quality starts, 5-2, 1.93 ERA, 8 shutout innings back in May. Just really impressive with that. So you're getting home dog with, I don't think there's a guy you'd rather have pitch against the Braves in the MLB than Zach Wheeler. So this would be Phillies or nothing for me.
Yeah, Phillies are nobody for sure with Wheeler. But it's tough to get bet against this Braves team. We tried it in the first game, and as Ben said, after falling down 8-4, come back, tie it up 8-8, just couldn't get it done in the extra innings. We'll wait to see what the lineups are in this one. Braves still getting pushed a little bit. Now just 2.5 ahead of the Orioles for best record. Phillies, top wild card team right now. Still want to cement that away. You've got you get the Braves with the lead in all the sorry if I seem distracted, guys. A lot of movement here. Watching Cowboys go to 9.5, and Giants just exploded. That's what had us lost. Giants now up to 5.5 for Sunday. So looks like there's going to be a busy Tuesday morning. Might be a tough time for us to do these podcasts on Tuesday. But getting back to this Brave game, Braves on the road. Phillies at home. Philly, a good home team. Wheeler just gets the job done. Wheeler is a home dog against a team that he's pretty much handled. Would have to be them or nobody.
And D-backs at Mets. This Arizona team gets it done last night. Mets had swept them at Arizona earlier this season. You have Nelson versus Buda. Nelson, first start since early August, comes back solid. 1 run in 5 2/3 at Wrigley. Crushed by the Mets earlier this season, but he's just a way better pitcher on the road. 5-2, 3.18 ERA in 14 starts. Buda, only 6 career outings, 4 of them starts. Coming off his first career quality start versus the Nats. Going to give Nelson the slightest of pitching edges here just because more sample size, bit more proven of a big league arm. He's had a lot of road success this year. And Buda, we'll see if he can follow up what he did against Washington here. Arizona or nobody here. Still a team that needs wins. Mets out of it would be D-backs. Been backing Nelson a lot on the road this year. I think it's another decent spot for here as well.
Yeah, Mets had owned this series before last night. Look, they were going to do it again, but D-backs come back with a couple of runs in the late innings and take a 4-3 win. Mets had won 9 of 10 prior meetings, and they swept Arizona in Arizona early this year in July. If you guys remember that, we had Arizona, one of those games, Alvarez hits a bomb. We had, I think, a 3-point lead, a 3-run lead late in the game. But anyway, Mets had owned the series. Little bit different story now. Mets with none to play for. Arizona's holding on to that last wild card. They need W's. Good spot to get one here with Nelson. He's been really good on the road.
It's Marlins at Milwaukee. Chargoy versus Peralta. Brewers, they crushed them yesterday, 12-zip. Miami had won 4 7 meetings last season. Marlins, 1.5 game back right there of Arizona. Peralta coming off an okay start, 3 runs in 5 1/3 versus Pirates. Before that, though, was just on an absolute tear. They won his 7 prior starts, 5-0, 1.71 ERA. 2 outings versus the Marlins last year, 4 runs in 5 2/3. Just not looking to go against Peralta in Milwaukee here. The bats showed up big time yesterday, and what Peralta's done over the last month and a half, been one of the better pitchers in baseball. So massive pitching edge over a bullpen game. Don't see any value here in the road dog.
Yeah, and they're also coming off a 12-pack last night, 12-0 shutout. Marlins had that little hot run. Was it 4 of those games were at the Washington Nationals, one of the worst home teams in the National League. Brewers, all of a sudden, they bang out 17 hits yesterday after a tough game, 13-inning game Sunday with the Yankees. That was part of the reasoning betting against them. A long 13-inning game, maybe a little tired coming into to play the Marlins, but they bang out 17 hits. Brewers red hot right now. What do we got here? The Brewers right now. Where's my stats on this team? We're 7, Milwaukee, Marlins, 16-winning streak, Miami, Arizona, final wild card. Okay, so I left some out. Brewers have won 3 of 4, scoring 8 runs a game, hitting .311 these last 4 games, and they've missed Yelich the last 3 games. We'll see if Yelich is back in the lineup. But yeah, Peralta, who's been lights out except for that last outing against the Miami bullpen game, coming off a beatdown. That bullpen already had to work yesterday. Milwaukee, a nobody, but not at this price.
Yeah, Brewers 14-6, their last 20. They're playing good ball over the last couple of weeks. Then we have this Cubbies at Colorado. Tough game last night. Cubs put up 2 in the 9th to take the win. They win at 5-4 there. They split 4 meetings in Coors Field last year. Colorado just brutally ice cold right now. 6-24 their last 30, and that's just the icing on the cake for a team who's ice cold, having the lead in the 9th, can't hold on to it. Will be a look at Colorado today, slightly in there and slightly to the over as well in this matchup. Assad versus Flexen. Assad, he's been going pretty solid. Last time out, 3 runs in 5 1/3. Prior to that, a pair of quality starts. 1 start versus Rockies last year, was roughed up in Wrigley. Only a second-year guy. Now you're going to be putting him in Coors Field. First time in his career. We'll see how that fares him. He has been better on the road so far this year, 1.74 ERA. Flexen's just pretty much unbackable. Last 2 starts, 10 runs, 11 hits, 4 homers. Really tough to back that. And to make matters worse, Cubs put up 8 on him earlier this season when he was with Seattle. This is a lean ever so slightly to Colorado just because you're getting home value with them. But 6-24 their last 30. Team not getting it done. Looked like their chance to win one was last night. Couldn't pull it out. It would look more so to the over here. I imagine Flexen gets roughed up. And Assad, first career start in Coors Field. We'll see if he can have anything good going there.
Yeah, as Ben said, Colorado now 6-24 their last 30. Flexen destroyed for 10 runs off 11 hits, 4 homers in last 8 innings pitched. Want no part of Colorado. Cubbies these wins. Yeah, this is an overlay. This is the time of year. But for me to just because the game's an overlay doesn't mean we take it. There's got to be a reason now to take the overlay. The reason for the overlay is Cubs need wins. Colorado can't win at home. Flexen can't keep a team down to 3-4 runs. Give me a reason to bet the underdog in an overlay, and I got no reason here with Colorado.
Then we have Padres at LA. Walker versus Lance Lynn. San Diego gets it done last night. Dodgers won 8 of prior 10 meetings. Padres still 3-9 their last 12 road games here. And Dodgers just 4-7 the last 11. Been slumping a little bit here. Just one of these teams in no man's land. Can't catch Atlanta. Not going to be losing the division race. Waka versus Lynn. Waka hasn't been as dominant since coming back from the IL, 3.51 ERA. Last time out, 3 runs in 4 innings, 6 Ks, 3 walks. Excuse me. Did have a quality start versus the Giants before that. And Lance Lynn, he started off great with LA. Last 2 starts, looks like the Lance Lynn from Chicago, like his buddy Giolito. 15 runs, 14 hits, 6 homers in 9 innings. Granted, one of those against the Braves, but nonetheless, this is pitching edge here that goes to Waka. Padres have more to play for here. A little bit of pride maybe at this point in the season, maybe something to build up onto the next year. This is just Dodgers getting some batting practice, some work in, and crossing their I's, dotting their T's before the end of the season.
And that's what it is. See, the Dodgers are playing out the string right now. They're playing out the string under really bad circumstances. So you had Walker Buehler. He made a couple of rehab starts. He's already been said he will not return this year. Gonsolin, Tommy John, Urias, domestic problems, arrested. He don't even have a locker at Dodger Stadium. Here's the problem for the Dodgers. So here enter Lance Lynn, who looked like he was had a couple of good starts. Maybe he found a new home. Pitching at Dodger Stadium, always different. It's a pitcher's ballpark. Had some success. Crushed last couple of times. Padres put some runs on the board. Machado crushed the ball last night. A day after he sat out a game, he says he's going to play out the games. He's your DH. A little bit more to play for, as Ben said, San Diego. Just maybe there's that pride. I've been waiting for San Diego to shut it down. They come with a big win. Dodgers had owned, and I mean owned this series going into last night in the regular season. 22-8 now after the loss. Obviously, San Diego beat them in the NLDS last year. Padres are nobody in this pitching matchup. We got to give Walker the edge.
And then we can head on over to these AL matchups. We have a doubleheader with the Yankees and the Red Sox, the Royals and the White Sox. Both those games get rained out last night. Vasquez versus Pivetta, game one here for the Yankees and the Red Sox. Just no interest in the Yankees in this matchup. They go on their little hot streak there. Look like they might be putting something together to try to get some late end of the year momentum going to run, and then that fell off, dropped 3 of 4. Boston's owned them this year. They've won 8 of 9 meetings, all 3 in Boston. Pivetta, I hate how they've messed with him this season, bouncing him up and down. 0-2, 7.45 last 3 outings here. Hasn't been that great lately, but and it was horrible against the Yankees last year too. 0-2, 9.51 in 5 starts, but has decent outings versus them this season. We'll still give him a slight edge here over Vasquez. Just a handful of appearances this season would be Boston or nobody here, just from an ownership standpoint.
Yeah, doubleheader. You got 2 teams that just basically now have fallen out of it. Realization comes that they will not be playing in the postseason. But this is Red Sox, Yankees, always a little something there. So teams should get up for this series. I've already got the lineups for game one. Everybody in for both teams in game one. Obviously, Dominguez, as we said yesterday, this kid, 8 games into his career. He's out. He had 4 homers in his first 8 games. So obviously he's out. But everybody else in for both teams. If you want to give Pivetta the pitching edge, you're going to give it to him over this kid. But the Vasquez has been decent. He'll be making a spot start today. Since being called up, he allowed only 1 run in 4 1/3 innings over 2 relief appearances. He won't be in there long. Don't count on him being in there by the 5th inning. Tough game. Price is right. Red Sox belong to be a favorite. The interesting game will be game 2. Who sits? Who gets off that second game? Do the Yankees rest Judge? We'll be on top of that one.
We have Royals at White Sox, a couple of aces in name, but not in numbers. Singer versus C. Singer's last 3 starts, 0-2, 9.95 ERA. C's last 4 starts, 1-1, 9.30 ERA. KC's had some success in this matchup, but specifically in Kansas City. They've split 10 meetings this season. White Sox success here in Chicago, winning all 3. This is an over or nothing game. These 2 teams, couple of pitchers just going brutal lately. Arms looking dead towards the back end of the season now. And you had 2 pitchers going at it with 9 ERAs over the last several starts. I'll take my chances with an over.
I'll let you finish up baseball because a lot of stuff happening in football. And guys, become a member How to Beat the Bookie. We're going to crush this NFL season. I'm working on it right now.
All right, John. Good luck with that. I'll catch up with you after. For anyone who's still hanging out with me, we'll keep going with this MLB card. And that's really, guys, why this time of year you'll see John coming on here a little bit less on these, because days like today, lines start moving like crazy and can't be missing on these spots. So always priority is our members and getting them the best numbers on the best sides that we can for NFL bets. Let's keep going down this card here a little bit. So that's that KC White Sox game. It's got to be over or nothing for me there. Just 2 pitchers are going horrible right now. I'll take my chances, see if we get the runs coming out. Then we have this interesting matchup. Rangers at Toronto. Scherzer versus Ryu here. Texas now half game back, and Blue Jays back in the wild card spot. They've now jumped Seattle after Angels get it done last night. Scherzer, since coming over to Texas, been better. but in his last time out was crushed for 7 runs, 3 homers, 3 innings there against Houston. Prior to that, 5 of 6 starts were quality starts. Ryu has not gone longer than 5 innings, any of his 7 outings. Last 2 times out, 4 runs, 10 innings for Oakland and Colorado. Scherzer gets the pitching edge. Toronto gets a team edge. They've been hot lately. This would be Texas or nobody for me on this game, but I think it's a really fair number they put here on it. I'm not going to get involved here with Rangers and Toronto, but as a baseball fan, that's one of the best matchups on the day. Then we have this Rays-Twins matchup. Rays get it done last night. They swept 3 games versus the Twins over the season. They've won all 4 meetings now. Little versus Ryan. Little coming off a little bit of a bounce-back quality start. Ryan, last start, 2 runs, 4 innings, and a loss against Cleveland. Before that, had a quality start versus Texas. I'm going to give Ryan a pitching edge, but ever so slightly. Little's had a bunch there in August, about 4 or 5 starts. He looked pretty good. Then back end of August and start of September looked rough. Coming off a nice little quality start. We'll see where he can get back to. He's kind of been forced into the rotation with all the Tampa Bay pitching injuries. And Ryan, he just hasn't been what he has been earlier this season. I'm still going to give him a slight pitching edge here, not too drastic. Would be ever so slightly lean here to Tampa Bay, a team who needs wins, trying to catch Baltimore there as far as that division race goes. Look at them or nothing. Oakland at Houston. Oakland gets it done last night. They blank Houston. This is a look at, again, Oakland or nothing. Now, Astros have dominated this matchup. 15 of the last 18 meetings, 9 of the last 11 in Houston. Sears versus Verlander today. Sears, last 2 starts, 1 run, 11 innings. Did have 6 Ks, 6 walks. And Verlander, since coming over, 5-2, 3.43 ERA. Coming off a quality start against Texas. And really just owned Oakland in his time with Houston. 2-0, 1.50 ERA versus them last year. Verlander gets the pitching edge, but this price is atrocious. It was atrocious yesterday. Oakland pulls it out, and I'll be looking to come back on Oakland on this one today. A's or nobody there. Big dog price. Sears right there with Blackburn as far as most competitive Oakland is to get a dub. Then we have Angels at Seattle, another massive overlay here for the Mariners. Woo, a rookie pitcher coming off extra rest. Last time out, 5 runs in 5 innings, 3 walks, no Ks. A little bit of a concern there. Sandoval's just been brutal, 1-5, 5.35 since August. Last 2, 12 runs, 9 earned, 8 2/3, 6 Ks, 7 walks. Pitching edge here, I'm going to give ever so slightly to Woo, but Sandoval really just been brutal lately. Every once in a while, we'll come out with a gem. We'll see that tonight. As far as this Angels team, they've now won 3 or 4 at Seattle this season. They've won 4 of their last 5. Mariners, they're 2-7 in their last 9. Big drop-off since the big win streak, and now back out of the wild card. So overlay here for Seattle. Angels are nobody, looking to play spoiler at this point in the season. Then we have Cardinals at Orioles. God help anybody who picks a side in this game. You're looking at the over or nothing. Over or nothing, St. Louis, Baltimore. Love it today. Waino, since August, 0-6, 10.60 ERA, 6 runs, 4 homers, and 5 2/3 versus the Braves his last time out. Means made 2 starts last year for the Orioles. For anyone who's true baseball fans, you guys remember a few years back, Means really good stuff. Up there in Cy Young races, was terrific for Baltimore. This was when Baltimore was dog shit. And ever since then, he's been dealing multiple injuries, surgeries, had Tommy John last season. He's going to be on a very restricted innings limit here. 6 rehab starts, 1-1, 3.74 ERA. Don't expect a lot from Means in his first start back. Don't expect anything from Waino being put in a hitter-friendly ballpark with a 10-plus ERA since August. This is over or nothing all the way here. Cardinals and Baltimore. Ever so slightly a lean here to St. Louis and a fade to Means returning, but I can't put my money on Waino. Has to be the over there. And then in these couple of interleague matchups, we have Reds at Detroit. Reds go 5-5 on the homestand, 3rd best road record in the National League. They're going Williamson versus Wentz today. Williamson, decent earlier in August, 0-2, 3.57, only a quality start in his last 3. And Wentz making a spot start. He's been brutal this season. Last time out, 5 runs and 6 in the 3rd. Williamson gets the pitching edge. Reds have something to play for. Reds are great on the road. Tigers, similar team. Not as good as home. Better on the road. So this is Cincinnati or nothing there in that matchup there with Williamson versus Wentz. And to wrap up the card, we have Guardians at San Francisco. Quantrill versus Manaea. This is an interesting game. Price says Cleveland. Pitching matchup says Cleveland. Question, are they dead? Are the Guardians done, right? They're trying to catch Minnesota for a while. They have their series with them. Don't have success in the matchup. Out of the playoff picture now. Quantrill got him back to last year. So if anyone who's a member last year, you guys know we are backing Quantrill time in, time out. He was terrific last season. Earlier this year, 6+ ERA, on and off the IL, bunch of injuries. This last trip to the IL looks like it didn't good for him. The last 2 starts, both quality starts, 2 runs in 12 innings, one against the Angels, one against the Rays, and one decent start against the Giants last season. Minaya, he was horrible as a starter at the start of the season. They pushed him back to the bullpen. Been okay in bullpen. He has a 3.74 in relief, but first start since May. He's going to have a little bit of a limit here pitching-wise. Pitching edge Cleveland, price says Cleveland. Ask yourself, are the Guardians dead or not against a Giants team who needs wins in the wild card race? So it would be Cleveland or nothing there in that final game. Sorry, I kind of sprinted through the back end of this card here as John got off. Looking to get some NFL bets in myself as we are having these numbers start moving here on this Tuesday card, or on this Tuesday, I should say, for week 2 NFL. You guys know we got to be looking at NFL all the time. Lines start moving on Sunday for next Sunday. So that's what we're going to be getting to right now. Hope you guys appreciate this MLB rundown. So far, no MLB bets out, but John gave you the one NFL bet we have out for members here looking on into week 2 NFL. Dallas Jets under 40.5, numbers down to 39.5 and dropping. We'll be looking to get in some more NFL action today. If you aren't yet, go sign up. 7 straight NFL winners. Looking to keep it rolling the rest of the week. If you guys want to make money with us, go ahead and sign up howtobeatthebookie.com or download the How to Beat the Bookie app. Like, comment, subscribe below. Let's make some money.